I thought we could take a little break today with from the mini series that we were doing about my childhood manga. I know we just started. Don't at me, okay? Because mainly I'm doing this because I want to really just take my time with the next topic and not do what I did to Kimikis, which was read it in one fucking go at night, sleep deprived, realizing it's fucking dog shit, and then just putting my unadulterated feelings into a video. So yeah, no, I I really just want to take my time with the next video, and well, frankly, I've been sitting on the topic of this video for more than a year. So yeah, I just want to get it out there because it's really fucking good. Like, so yeah. Anyway, let's just talk about a web manga that I really love. Definitely more than I should, considering both the premise and the writing. So this is a parallel world with a 1 to 39 male to female ratio is unexpectedly normal. Yes, really, that is the title. The premise is simple. Our protagonist gets swapped with another version of him in a different world by the work of a goddess to take that version's place in a world where there's a ratio of one man to every 39 women. Yeah, it's that simple. That's why it's in the title. Although now, with the basic premise explained, let's take a moment to consider what would be the consequences of this sort of world. Like, think at a 1 to 39 ratio, men are effectively a rare and precious resource, considering they are near the continued, well, humankind. So, with that in mind, how would women treat men? Well, according to this manga, like breeding horses because they crave for the seed. I like when I read that line. The first thing I immediately wanted to put gene seed there. Fucking 40k brain rot. Oh. Anyway, because of this, men are fearful and resentful of women, even outright abusive to them if they are aware of their special status in this world. It's honestly a very interesting dynamic that I love a lot as a concept. Although, why do I bring this up anyway to begin? Like, because here's the thing, right? It's very important to the core of this series because our protagonist, well, he was reincarnated in this world. He doesn't have the mindset that all the other men of this setting has. So, what does a normal man, by our standards, our social standards, impact a society like that? What would be the effects of this? Well, according to this manga, the results would be fucking hilarious. I'm gonna be real. I try my best to stay objective and actually give a well-formatted review like I always do. Do not at me with the Harem King video. That does not exist. Same with the Kimikis video. That does not exist. But fuck, it is so hard for me to do that with this title. Despite the fact I've been trying to figure out how to do it for at least 3 months now. Because here's the thing. I really love everything about this manga because it's a fucking Kino. And I do not use those words lightly. I am obsessed with this title because it's like the perfect level of modern day internet humor. And it really just comes down to the writing. I'm not going to touch the art style because, look, it is kind of stale, but I admit I do like the use of Photoshop effects to really add to the pages. And honestly, I don't care if it looks stiff, I still love it. Anyway, mainly because the Photoshop thing, it's really just interesting. Anyway, when I say the writing carries it, though, I really meant to say the way it writes its protagonist carries it alongside how the women are depicted when interacting with our protagonists. Right? It's fucking Kino. And I don't know where to start, so I'm just gonna do like the unconscious brain flow thing I do sometimes and just let my brain figure out where we started. starting. Also, since I'm going to be doing, well, this sort of weird tangent format, um, I do want to say, if at any point of this video there is an aspect I cover that sounds remotely interesting to you, leave this video and go read it. I won't be mad if you do that, because honestly, this is a really good title, worth your time. It's just due to the nature of this video, I'm worried I'm going to ruin most of the enjoyment that comes from reading it. So, like I said, if at any point it sounds interesting, just stop. Go read it. You won't regret it. Trust me. Okay, let's start with the chapter where I think the writing starts to gain a grasp of what it wants to be. Because you see, in the first 20 or so chapters, it feels like it's trying to grasp what it wants to be while setting up So's family, so they become the basis of the three types of women that are poisoned by So's sweetness act, or I guess normal act. There's Sakura, who is borderline yandere with her newfound love of Oni-chan, and we love her because of that. Next is Surimi, who has delusions about So and how this world works, or it might actually be actually how this world works. I don't know. And like like one of these delusions, or delusions in quotation marks, is like how, as the older sister, she has the right to his semen and is overall incredibly horny with incredibly horny delusions. And then finally there's Arcane, who is kind of more wholesome but still very horny, but a very generic level of horny. Is more thirsty than horny, I would say, actually. Anyway, there's your three types of horny until we get to the Yui loving girls later. But well, the first a few chapters are dedicated to setting up the family and these stereotypes, which probably why it's very low on the funnies. Like, the only part I remember giggling at before the turning point is the sequence of So mind-breaking Sakura with his love. Do not take that out of context. And her transformation being mistaken as Chunibo, I'm just gonna call it Chuni behavior in the following chapter. I mean, I guess there's also hints at how Arcane and Suimi keep competing with each other for So's approval, which is funny in hindsight, considering how they collaborate later on dealing with the imaginary problem the gods present. But anyway, the turning point for me was the first trip to the Seaman Comprehensive Center, or the SCC. And you know what? Before I get into it, I need to complain. Why is it the Seaman Comprehensive Center and not the Seaman Collection Center? Not only do you get to keep the acronym, but it also makes more sense. Like, what is there to comprehend about semen? It's fucking semen. What do you need to comprehend? It makes babies. Anyway, enough about semen. I don't want people to think I'm gay. I mean, I am gay. I'm just not that kind of gay. The point is, right, we need to talk about how So semen is saving humanity. I can't believe I said that. Shit. But because you see this panel right here on screen. This is the turning point. This is where I went from, okay, this is okay, I guess, to this is truly peak fucking fiction. Because everything about this panel is perfect. From the fact it is built on the context of him just doing this because he had a lot to relieve from being pent up, to how the following panel shows how this quantity of semen is giving this worker the motivation to work harder. Or the best part, So's behaved to say this line completely seriously. Like, bro, we get it. You want to relieve yourself. You don't need to say shit like this, though. It just makes you look more suspicious. Like, I'm sorry. It's just the way I imagine him delivering that line with the refreshing smile. It always makes me giggle in my head. This is why manga is so great, because some things is just best left to the imagination. So yeah. So I lost track where I was in my script now. Give me a second. Alright, honestly, alright. Okay, yeah, here it is. Alright, honestly, it gets better when you get to the part where he starts working out, which is shortly afterwards, because he needs more ways to relieve himself, and he can't visit the SEC again because of previous problems with the system, and bro doesn't understand. Like, bro, it's these like two chapters that perfectly capture who our protagonist is. He isn't your typical webcomic protagonist who only exists to be a self-insert. Although, if you want that, the Fanbox porn series is right over there. But yeah, no. So in this manga, is like just the correct amount of himbo. He's clueless enough to not be self-aware enough to say shit like this and not notice what he's doing. He's also enough of a himbo to just be a really good brother. I like him. Another point in my book for that. But he's also like self-aware enough to realize that yeah, I shouldn't be tempted by my family's advances, especially Surimi, because she really gets unhinged in the later chapters with how thirsty she is, or horny. I think it's horny. Horny is the correct term. But yeah. Oh yes, I should do that correction on this Yui loving girl called Yuri. This is why I like So a lot. He actually has a personality and feels like a character instead of a self-insert for the reader who doesn't really do anything interesting. He is easily 50% of the reason why I love this title so much. But if you really want the boring so, the porn spin-off is right over there. Like, you can just get off this video right now, jack off to it, and then when you're done, you can just come back when you're just ready for like the actually good shit, okay? Man, I kind of just want to focus more on like more funny so moments. And then I remembered that funny Soho moments happen when the funny main cast is around. So let's focus back on the family. Let's do our angel Sakura first because she is really is my angel, despite the fact she is giving me Kawaii so no Inamoto Chan vibes sometimes. Yes, I've been reading that. And yes, I hate every single moment of it. And I do hate the fact that I am up to date. And yes, chapter 40 was fucking dog shit. Don't fucking. I'm not going on this tangent. Anyway, there's a lot of good Sakura standout moments. Just to point out the few that I really, really like that come to mind. There's the one where Sakura tries to show that women are dangerous, so, but ends up getting pampered again. That was just really fucking funny. There is also the whole arc with Sakura showing off her Oni-chan to her friend who refuses to believe he's real, and so just trying his best to be the ideal older brother, mainly because of how this arc ends. Sorry, I'm just remembering how that ended, because it's like in the translation, there's like a meme panel that I like a lot. But yeah, it's also an amazing example of how Kimbo So is. Um, he just wants to make Sakura happy, and the fact that his doting of Sakura is also confusing both Surumi and Akane is hilarious. Mainly because they can't comprehend that he just loves his little sister, and there's nothing sexual about it. So they keep getting confused on his preference on breast size because of it. Like, honestly, the scenes of Sakura being pampered is the best, and the huge bias so shows for Sakura's shenanigans compared to the rest of the family is honestly fucking hilarious. Sakura is truly our guiding angel, with Arcane just trying her best. Like, I'll admit, she's a good mother, but damn, isn't she like a little too thirsty for someone who just like came out of her fucking womb? Um, that aside, I kind of like that she's characterized as less of a mother and more like a sister, especially considering how she will gladly go along with Surumi's weird plans, like the two times they have attempted cosplay, or technically it's free, or smelling So's bed while he's gone. That might be non-canon though, but I'm keeping here because I really like that fucking panel. It was just really funny. Um, yeah, but no. Anyway, I think if he does say something about how close she is with her daughters to be able to do stuff like this, There's also this whole sequence where So is causing mass hysteria with his underwear, and Arcane is trying her best to hold back. I also like the implication of her bio saying that her recent obsession has been watching zombie movies, and it's probably because So mentions zombie movies during that sequence. I think it's like this little detail speaks just volumes about Arcane's character, just like how Surimi's horny antics speaks volumes of hers. Like, I honestly like her the least of the family, maybe the entire cast. Maybe just due to how thirsty she is. Although I'll admit, I started like her more after the reveal that Surimi is tweeting about her life is so. I can very much relate to the deranged tangents if you can't tell by the fact that you're currently watching one right now. Um, I think the only redeeming feature she has right now, though, aside from that, though, is how So treats her. Like, he clearly cares about her, but at the same time, he won't play along with her antics, unlike Sakura. Like, So is just 100% does not take her seriously at all, even when she's saying dumb shit like this. It's really funny. Um, but yeah, Surimi being the losing heroine is funny enough, and honestly, her ability to perceive horny intent leads to funny moments like, well, this during the guard meeting. Like, God, that was a terrible segue. We're talking about the guards now, by the way. That was my attempt at a segue. Leave me alone. Let's do Miku first, because not only she shares a name with my second favorite Vocaloid, she's also the one I'm rooting for the most. Like, sure, she's the one with the most mental corruption, with it getting to the point she is straight up creating new memories, but she's also the one I think So will fall for. I mean, he does like big boobs, and that's really just about it. I mean, sure, he's bonding better with Hinata, but I don't like how ominous Hinata is hinted to be. Like, sure, she's supposed to be the straight man of the three guards, and seems to have the most normal reactions to So, but the author keeps hinting at something dark here, which makes me excited to see where Hinata ends up. As for Kana, I'm using a nickname. I'm calling her Kana. Yeah, my mind has just completely blanked on Kana. I feel like she's supposed to be the Surimi of the three, as it feels like, because like during the Doki Doki school life meeting, trust me, it makes more context in the manga. Makes more sense in the context of the manga. She's supposed to be the Surumi's revival, mainly because she is the younger sister of Surumi's colleague, classmate, whatever. But yeah, no. But when I think about it, Shivi has nothing going on for her outside of being side grade Miku. Although during the confrontation, I mean meeting, it's Kana and Miku who has whatever is this happening in the background going on. So I'm just thinking. So I okay, so I'll stop now. Yeah, but no, Kana really just kind of like sorts between the other straight man who knows reason, and I'm as delusional as the others. Like, actually think about it, the gods aren't as well developed as the family. Not that that is a bad thing in this case. That's not a complaint. It just means there's more room to explore the characters. But I do feel like their role in the story hampers their growth. Like, once again, not complaining, just pointing this out because I thought it was interesting. As the guards only spend time with So when he's going to school, they have much more limited screen time compared to his family, as his family can be present with him in other locations outside school. There's also the problem that they always have to appear in a group so far, and therefore have to split the screen time between the three of them, while So's family can have solo time. Of course, you can easily fight around this, as we saw with Sakura's friend, who is now just showing up at the house after her conversion to the Temple of Onichan. There's a lot that can be done with the guard students, so I look forward to their shenanigans in the future. Although the layers arc seems to be screwing them over anyway. The day 3 curveball is interesting by letting us see So spreading his poison once again with Suzuki's guard students. Yes, I know I forgot to bring up Suzuki, but his best experience not explained, which is why I am censoring his text box here. Do not expect me to do this in future, though. Um, the reason why I'm bringing up the latest arc, though, is because I feel like it has the potential to fulfill the one thing I wanted that we were just talking about: more guard student development. The trio having to deal with the fact they can't spend the day with So, while also possibly losing him to the other guard students, is interesting and could be the thing that pushes Hinata over the edge. Like, Kade has already been mentally corrupted, and Aya's sister is still holding on to her punishment from their last meeting, so this arc has a lot going for it. Also, may leave some breathing room for more world development as well, possibly. Like, okay, that's just like hopium, but I do want to bring this up that because while I've been kind of just been throwing crushed up tissue balls at it, the porn version of this manga has one thing going for it, that being slightly more world building, mainly because it has the love hotel system. Um, that is all I want to bring up, and honestly, I am willing to choose it to be non-canon anyway. Because look at this panel, and now look at this. Yeah, I want to say non-canon. Now, uh, abrupt ending. Well, I am worried that I spoiled like too much in my ramblings. In hindsight, I think I only covered about 30% of the manga. Actually, probably more 40%. There's a lot of arcs I didn't really cover, like So's side adventure of Yuri, his second trip to the SEC, and day one of his schooling, because that is a real fun one. Um, I'm also hoping this isn't a mistranslation, but the possibility of a second confrontation has me salivating because the first one was probably the most banger thing in this manga. Or like I know I praised the hell out of the out of the sorry, I'm thinking about it again. But like that first confrontation has a lot of it has a good mix of funny moments and also hinting at what we can do. Because you gotta get Hinata. Hinata is just mm, peak fucking cinema, absolute cinema. God, oh god, oh god! I just realized. Well, just reading this out. I have no idea how I'm gonna do the thumbnail. Oh, okay, all right. While I agonize over that, I guess I'll just end on this. Just because I want to say this one more time. If this sounds remotely interesting to you, go read it. It's really just better than it sounds on paper, and I can promise you, there is no way in hell I did it the actual justice it deserves here. Like, even after I went, just want to go straight in with just how I personally felt about it, just without the filters, I still feel like I didn't do it properly. So, yeah, no, go read it. Now, excuse me, but I'm going to decide which Sakura panel works best for the thumbnail now. So, bye.